our door. So I have more light in here. Because I didn't do a video yesterday, I thought it was Monday. I mean, I feel like I'm in a warp zone, right? And then I had to watch Dan Forrest on Fox News, and I was like, this is like being in the Twilight Zone. And the whole time he just talked about praying.
Who?
Dan Forrest. You know who he is?
No.
He's our lieutenant governor. He's the one that said Governor Cooper was going to ruin our economy by closing restaurants. So then yesterday he's on Fox News talking about how, come here, all the things that our state is doing.
You want me to do it?
But he didn't point out that he actually didn't want to do any of it. Okay, please don't throw the plate. Will you go put it in the trash, Amos? Trash can? Go find the trash can. Amos, what do we have today? Miss Richardson sent you a calendar. Thank you, Blair. Anyway, it seems silly to fuss about that kind of stuff all the time. But why I'm fussing, the other thing, my friend Stu wrote an article and said, where is Mark Johnson? So North Carolina superintendent, like right before the election, he was texting and emailing and, you know, everything was urgent and carrying on, and it wasn't for politics. Well, now he ain't nowhere. He ain't sending out any emails. He ain't texting. He ain't doing nothing. What's he doing? He's on Fantasy Island. Blair, tell him about your school this morning. Miss Nelson said she could not find those math assignments. So you can just do them again. We struggle getting things in or figuring out where things are. No one more than Thomas.
Except you gave them to a first grade teacher.
No, she got your red folder, she said, but she didn't see them in there. There's cinnamon roll on your chin. Let's just put it on the schedule for this week. You have it from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock, random schoolwork. So you can work on it then. She really did 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock for random schoolwork, which actually means FaceTime Anna. Good night.
He closes the door, right?
Amos goes in there and gets in Blair's bunk bed.
Amos, hello. Good morning.
Honey, don't bother him.
You got him into a room having to close it. You ready? Just one time. One more time.
He's going to throw something at you.
No, he's not. Help? Here, let me help you.
They do love him. Wait till next year when you'll be totally accountable. Oh yeah, Thomas, he will be in trouble. Will Blair go to the same school next year? Blair, are you going to the same school next year? Maybe. We haven't decided yet. We figure we have 6 months. What I think she should do is sign up for the other school so she can have lots of homework to get her brain active. Heather liked your schedule. I think we're watching the weather for Hampton Roads. Ugh, I don't ever want to go to Hampton Roads. Yesterday it was super windy. We went on the beach. We cleaned. That was what we did. You know what I've decided? We're like the Ingalls family.
No.
We take baths about every week. Yesterday we had our showers. It's like Saturday night at the Ingalls family.
We don't take
And we cleaned. And then, this is why the time went by quick with no technology back then. Then another day they would do the laundry. That took a whole day. And then another day they would make bread. There was another day. Another day they churned butter. There's a day. What else did they do?
They went to the river to get some water.
Yeah, they went to the river to get some water. No, they had a well. We need to read The Long Winter. Do we have that? That's my favorite with Almanzo. I love it. And then another day every morning they get up and sweep with their little handmade broom. I've been doing that on the porch, but it's not handmade. And then they would tidy up the kitchen and polish the stove. I think y'all should make butter, Aunt Caroline said. Aunt Caroline, we don't know how to make butter.
You don't even know how to make pancakes.
There you have it. The truth hurts.
That's why Daddy has no idea how to make muffins.
What?
And Daddy has no idea how to make muffins.
So anyway, that's why the Ingalls time went quick. I've always claimed that I don't know how to make pancakes, so I don't have to make them. It's like one of the smartest things I've ever done as a mother. And I'm not willing to concede that I actually do know, because then I would be harangued about that. Every day I wake up and it's like, will you make cinnamon rolls? Will you make eggs? Will you make muffins? I don't like to wake up and do things. Clearly, it's a struggle. I like to wake up and drink coffee. That's what I like to do. Not talk to people or get people to school. And now I get them to school, and school is right beside me on the couch. I mean, I've never spent so much time with people. It's terrible. No, it's really not terrible. But last night, so what I decided was that I was going to let Amos stay up because he's been sleeping terribly. So I let him stay up till 11. It might be a terrible decision. But he slept until, Amos, would you sleep? At least till 8. So that was actually, well, then I didn't go to bed till like 1:30, because the trouble is I need like 2 hours of alone time every day. It's necessary for my sanity. So then I stayed up later. So then I didn't get up till 9:45. It's bad times around here. Bad times. But anyway, it was better. And then he read the whole Maisie Goes to the Hospital book. I should have recorded it. I'll get him to do it for y'all. Not now, though, because he's being quiet. So, today is Tuesday. I need to work on, we applied for this loan deferment, mortgage deferment for our house and 2 rental properties we have in Raleigh. But then I was reading the fine print last night for the rental properties, and it was like, yes, you just pay your 3 payments in 3 months. Hello, I don't want to do that. So you have to call and get a loan modification. So if anybody's doing that, make sure you read the fine print, because they do offer it where they will tack the payments on to the end of your mortgage, but you've got to specifically talk about it. My kids are so well behaved, and I think it's because they're getting more sleep. We're not. We're living in like one night I'll be like, it's 9 o'clock, go to bed. And then another night, like last night, it was 11, and I was so happy watching Baby Boom with Amos on the couch, reading Maisie. I mean, I was like, who have I become? I don't even know. All I make my toddler cereal. I'm a big fan of cereal. Look, somebody's playing baseball. Well, that's old baseball, because there are people in the stands. Flattening the curve in New York, New Jersey, and Louisiana. Can we talk about Louisiana and who went to Mardi Gras? When was Mardi Gras? I mean, are these people crazy? So down here at Moorhead, where I am, have you ever heard of the company Haley and the Hound? She makes really neat clothes, and they have been making masks, like 100 a day, or more than that, I guess. I don't even know what, a ton, and sending them all over. And she's making 500 for my sister-in-law, who's on here, to give to her 2 hospitals for their nurses, because these are just like nurses when you're just walking around the hospital, and you can wash these things. My 82-year-old mother is so tickled because all she can see is reruns of ball games. Oh, I know. Lisa, my Richmond friend who, we're social quarantining with, her parents, I called Grandpa the other day and I was like, hi. She was like, I can't talk. I'm watching Kansas beat somebody. Caroline, you're on the schedule for, I think, next Wednesday, like the 15th, for your mask being made. And then they're going to ship them directly, but we're sending in a little surprise with them. I've recruited some friends from a distance. They found that Maeve Kennedy. She was out, had jumped in the canoe to go get the ball with her son. Y'all, that just tears me up. And everybody's like, why was she on the Chesapeake Bay? I love that suddenly people are never going to die because they can point out all the things you shouldn't do after you've died. The house was on a little cove, like a cove. So we have lots of coves in Edenton. And so you might not go out in the Albemarle Sound, but if you're back in a cove, it's totally calm. So she got in the little cove to go get this ball that went 8 feet, and the canoe acted like a sailboat and just blew out. Gosh, what a shame. Yesterday we were on the beach. Boy, I really will be a wreck if I run out of my Zoloft. I've only got 2 left. I got to get that. I got to go to the Walgreens and get some of that. Get it sent from Blunt's. Tell them it's emergency. It was last year, about a year ago, where a family was visiting, I think from New York or somewhere, Nags Head, and their 4-year-old son was washed out in the ocean. And when we were on the beach yesterday, it was really rough. We were running around, and I was thinking about that because Amos is flying around. Now, granted, the ocean's cold, so he didn't want to get near it. But if you get too low, like Nags Head, the waves go really low, so you think you have a lot of beach, and then they come up. The water grabbed him, and he was gone. And it just breaks your heart. Breaks your heart. What is it they say? But not here for the grace of God. And I will say, it's easy for us to, water is dangerous, neighbors saying. It is, but how many times have we made a mistake and not suffered consequences for it? I mean, I've always thought we get 1 million saves for every one that we don't. Like Amos got out of the house when he was 2.5 and walked 2 blocks to the drugstore. Well, he could have easily been killed, and it would have been my fault, but he wasn't. And it's just, one time Blair got lost, or I wasn't watching her, and she'd come up to the condo, and I was looking at this beach thinking she's gone. It's just, we're all human. We are human. And ain't nobody can say, you've gotten in the car, I've turned around and Blair hadn't had a seatbelt on for 45 minutes. It's just amazing. Anyway, I think it scares people, so people get defensive because it makes them feel really human too. But I think it's almost good to all of us feel human, And with this corona thing, we are all feeling really vulnerable. I mean, it is vulnerability to a T. Anyway, I think. I don't know what I'm going to share today. There's a little boy in British Columbia who has a 3D printer, and he's churning out ear clips to keep the bands from the mask off nurse's ear. And I read that somewhere, and I thought that was a really cool story. And then My daughter with ASD goes outside and gets into whatever she's doing and can't hear me screaming bloody murder. Terrifies me every time. Oh yeah, people cannot hear. No. I could write about that. Been wanting to write about nurses. I could write about Dan Forrest, who's bugging me, but I don't feel like being negative. Anyway, I could fold this laundry. That would be smart. I think we'll... Russell, have you done your homework? Every day he says yes. And every day I wonder. All of it? Other people in this house lie. Oh, Caroline said she saw those ear things. I know. Aren't they neat, Caroline? So if you have a 3D printer, you can make them. I am going to go ahead and admit that I have no idea how a 3D printer works. It's sort of like how you have cable on your TV. Things I struggle with. What about the deputy superintendent of some schools not answering the question about whether or not school assignments are mandatory? That fool doesn't know. Mark Johnson, he does not know. I mean, I said a few minutes ago, he ain't nowhere to be found. What's he doing? He was like, texting you and carrying on before the election, which just proves all the more that he was using a government position to attack people for politics, which is illegal. But he gone now. Can we talk about the new quality seals on pizza and takeout? What? What are quality seals? I don't know about this. Oh, takeout does make me a wee bit nervous. Okay, what's everybody doing for Easter? So I ordered some stuff yesterday, and my mother ordered some stuff. But I still need to get the frickin' candy. I wish Dollar General had a delivery option. I mean, I don't want to die over the thing. But I mean, if people don't have some peeps around here, they might act like they're going to perish. Seriously. There's no way the teachers will be able to grade all the papers and teach. I don't care if anybody grades anything or not. I really don't care. I mean, does anybody? I'm just hopeful we'll go back to school in the fall. Order the candy. Target pickup. They ain't any Target down here. They're sealing pizza boxes. Amazon has candy. Okay. I sure wish somebody would just have like random Easter candy and mail it to me. Ooh, I haven't watched Ozark, Kelly. I'd like to do that. Never touched after coming out of the oven. No, I saw that on a Papa John's commercial. Look, what if I just started drinking rum punch in the morning instead of coffee? Just using my rum punch cup to make me feel better. I mean, I cleaned up yesterday, and you can't even tell. It's so annoying. Mainly because every time I set up the checkerboard, Amos, throws it. Oh, there's my shitter, if you hadn't seen it. That's where the septic tank place, burnt down a couple months ago. It's going to smell really good this summer. Might help me get thin. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're going to check in with y'all later. We're going to help people get their work done. Okay. Hi. Amos, say bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye, Miss Privet.
Bye, Miss Privet.